What's up, guys? Today we're doing a little ultralight fishing, hoping to catch maybe some bluegill, a couple of crappie, maybe some small bass. No telling what you're going to catch when you bring the little tackle out. Hang around with me. Stick around. Let's catch a fish or two. I'll see you when we get back. All right, guys, while the camera was not rolling, I got my first bite, and the bites are very few and far between so far. But I put him in the net just so I could show you what I got. That's a chunk right there, boys and girls. That's a fine, I guess he's a bluegill. Everything down here in the south is either a bluegill or a brim. Check that out. That's a beast. That's what you get. And I'm gonna show you what I caught him on, and some of you will be mad, but back in the water he goes. I'm gonna show you what I'm doing today. I'm throwing a crankbait. Now I know for a fact bluegill and brim, they're biting right now. Talked to some guys at the ramp. They limited out. Difference is crickets. Crickets are tried and true panfish bait, crappie bait forever. But I'm throwing artificial. So one of my top baits is just a small crankbait. Brim, bluegill, crappie, shellcracker, all the panfish, they hit the little crankbaits. Right now the bite seems slow, but as it cranks up, in another few weeks, it'll get really hot, and it'll just be like, God, I'm tired of catching them sometimes. But it's a lot of fun, and that was actually my first fish, and it came off of a deep bank. I was expecting a bite off of shallow type banks. Nothing. My shallow points where I would expect brim and bluegill and all of them to be gathering, getting ready for bedding. Nothing so far. So I'm either on the wrong end of the lake for that to be going on, or the cold front. Last night it was pretty harsh. It was cold this morning. Slowed them down, but that bruiser there, he came off of a deep bank. And he hit as hard as I would normally expect. It was just all of a sudden he was there. So I don't know if the weather's affected them, but now I had 2 bites before that. It just, I felt a bump, he didn't get it. I made another cast, same thing, bump, didn't get it. The third cast in the same area, when I felt the bump, I got the fish. So whether then the wind has drifted me off of that spot, but maybe there's another fish or two on this bank ready to smack this little bait. Now that little fish there, once he was hooked, he pulled and dug for the bottom. And I'm fishing with 4-pound test line. So if a bass comes along and gets a hold of it, it will be interesting. And that does happen. You pull one of these little baits, and so many of you know you've caught bass and catfish and everything while crappie fishing. No different with these little crankbaits. These little ultralight rigs are so much fun. You don't have to have a big fish to pull either and break your line off. So if you do get a good fish on, you really gotta you really got to play him and be careful and not try to horse him in like conventional tackle, or you won't have a chance. But it is so much fun. The bite is just really slow today. I'm very proud that the one that I've got so far was a really nice fish. And as that bite gets a little more and more, a little better, I guess, over the next week or so, I'll be tempted to bring my cooler and ice with me and have a fish fry, because those are awesome eating. We're gonna see if we can drag another one out. That was a lot of fun. I wished you could have seen it hooked on camera, but they don't always bite if the camera's running, so I'll take them when I get them. Oh. I had another bite. He did not take it, or he didn't hook himself. So we'll keep throwing. Still on a deep bank. That's very odd to me that I'm getting brim bites on a deep. There's one. Oh my God, that's not a brim. I'm pretty sure that's gonna be a bass. And it is. We're gonna need a net. He will break my little stuff off. Come on, I'm just barely putting any pressure on him. Try to get him over here. Got him. He's not a monster, but when you're ultralight fishing, you don't take chances, because they will swim away with your little bait so fast. My little pliers. Let's see how he was hooked pretty good. Right in the corner of the mouth. My little pliers are not the best in the world. There he goes. Now that's not a monster. When you're using 4-pound test line and a little bitty crankbait and a tiny rod and reel, that's a good fish. Let's get him on back. Oh, he had to show out a little bit. Now I'll have to retie. After I get my crankbait out of my net. I got it out of the net. I got it back in the net. What I'm doing is I'm fishing parallel the deep bank, bringing it down through the water column. And I'm just fishing for bites now. My goal was bluegill and brim, but now I've caught a bass, so see what else we can come up with. There's something. We got a bass or a brim or what? Oh my goodness. I think it's gonna be a brim. Of course no, I don't think it is. Another little bass. Let's see if we can get him up in here. Got him. Ha ha. I believe that's a little spot. I could be wrong. Oh. Got little hooks. That wasn't another small bass, but There we go. Look at that, ultralight. They feel big when they get down there deep. And he run down deep first thing before I could really get a hold of him. Just a little fish, but boy, he whacked it. Get him back in. Got a hook in my net again. That's better than losing a fish. Get your net tangled up for a little bit. There we go. A little Tennessee shad color crankbait, about a 1/8 ounce. I gotta retie. I'm gonna give you another look at it. If I can get it, I know it's got a, there it is. That's what I'm using. I've caught bluegill, bass today. In the past I've caught crappie. It's just these little crankbaits perform so good, and if the fish are active, they will really show out. They're not active much where I'm at today. I have a feeling, had I have gone shallow, put in on the other end of the lake, I think they would probably be more active. It is the time of the year that these fish are gonna be getting turned on. Yeah, he got me down in the rocks because that line is frayed for about 3 feet. So I was about that close to losing that little joker. But I'm gonna get tied up, make a few more casts. I've got a long paddle back to the truck. So I don't know that my camera is pretty close to being out of battery for the day, and way too far from the truck to recharge, so it's probably going to wind it up for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. As the spring progresses, I can't talk, these little baits, you can get them at Walmart, you can get them anywhere it sells basically fishing tackle. Ultralight can be so much fun. If you've never tried it, it's different than your conventional tackle. You got to have a little patience, and not always easy to land a fish. Takes a little skill along with it. Sometimes it's just luck. But either way, it's a lot of fun. You get a lot of bites usually. If you're pond fishing, you will have a ball. The bluegill, when they go on bed, you can run one of these little jewels across the beds and they will just destroy it. And the gem of that is you don't have to retie your line or rebait new wigglers or new crickets every cast. So if you're bluegill fishing in the spring or early summer when they're bedding, yeah, that line was frayed up. The little artificials are the way to go for me. Old timers will swear by the live bait. I learned on live bait, but it's just so much fun to fish artificial bait and catch fish. I hope you guys have enjoyed. It's been a beautiful day. I hope some of that translated to the background and the scenery, because it has been a beautiful, beautiful day out today. And I've got, like I said, I've got a long paddle back to the truck. I'm gonna paddle a little, fish a little. If I get another fish before the camera runs down, I'll make sure to share it with you. If not, you guys stay safe on the water. I'm Lowell Henderson. This is Simply Fishing. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification bell so you know when a new video comes out. And I'll see you guys next week. Until then, stay safe, have fun.